Hello guys, so we are back in the illustrations in Canva, and I was showing you in another video, and I'll continue here, how to get this adorable little girl who is not part of Canva. If I have Canva free package right now, I don't. I have Canva Pro, but I'm doing this for those of you who have Canva as a free package. So let's just say you're creating a page and you want to have a cute illustration, like we were working on something like this, and instead of putting a person that you would get from Canva, little girl, right? Instead of getting one of these, which everybody in the world is using right now, and although they have some cute ones like she's cute and so on, they're just not unique. You're not gonna, it's not gonna be any different for you than it is for someone else. And this is how we went about doing what we're showing you here. So you would go to either Ideogram or Shaker or Shakker.ai, however you want to say it. And when we go to Ideogram, here we created a book cover using just a prompt, but we also created characters before. Now I'm going to go through creating one with you again here. So you can go to ChatGPT and you can say, write me a prompt for a children's book about a little girl. You can be more specific. You could say, write me a prompt for a children's book about a little girl with long brown hair and brown eyes who is wearing a yellow dress, red boots, and a green jacket, right? Let's just be specific, right? The more specific you are, the better it is, because you will get a couple of different renditions of that little child. So here's the prompt. You can read through it, tweak it, do whatever works for you. And the reason why I do this in ChatGPT is because I like the more descriptive prompts. Then you can go to Ideogram or Shakker, copy that into here, and you can play around with these. But I wanted to say, before you play around and you run out, if you're using the free version of this, which is what I'm using right now with Ideogram, you're going to run out of credits. They only give you a certain number of credits per day, and you can only generate about maybe 4 prompts a day, which I know it's not that great. But if you're struggling financially and this is how you need to make it work right now, this is fine. So let's enter the prompt. Choose one of these. I'm going to let's choose realistic. And I will say generate. Did I already run out of the free plans? Oh, it's saying our slow queue is currently full. Okay, so we'll wait. But in the meantime, I also have a free account with Shakker. And I'm going to, let me just enter it here. What should we create? I'm entering that here. And I'm going to just say generate. And at least this one tells you, you see the 36 here? It is giving me 36 credits, and I forget exactly how many credits are used per generation. And while we're here, guys, I wanted to show you the image size. So if you're creating a book that looks like portrait size here, you can do 3 and 3:4. If you're doing a landscape image, you could do 3:2. Square is 1:1. So these are all things that you can play around with as you're doing this, and then see how the rendition comes out. So it's not an illustration, it's actually a photo. I forgot to say create an illustration, but I can do that here, create an illustration. But now, as you can see, I just wasted credits, right? Create an illustration about a little girl named Mia. You can be even more specific, and you could say Pixar style or Disney style or whatever style you like, right? Oh, so this one here is an illustration. You know what? She looks like an illustration, so I don't want to run this generation again. I'm going to take this one here, right? Let me just close that off for a minute. Let me open, is this letting me open it? It's probably working on something else in the background. But just so you know, guys, I created these book covers the other day. They're pretty cute, even though the spelling of everything is not exactly what I wanted, but it does a pretty good job. So let's just get right to this. I'm going to download this, right? Download it. Then I'm going to go to Canva, and I'm going to bring this little girl into Canva. I'm going to go to my page, click on Uploads on the left, Upload Files, go to my Downloads folder, and she's right here. There she is. Now, before I put her on the illustrated page here, I'm going to open up a white page so you can see her more clearly. So there's two things you can do, or more. You can do so many different things. But one thing would be to create a book, and these are your illustrations. She is the page. You know, I could just make the page thinner, or I could have generated a square picture, but this is what I got now. So you click on background remover, and this is where I said, this is where I was saying that I want you to use this for your Canva books, your Canva things that you're you know, people are hiring you to do work, right? So you can take this little girl and you could put her all across your story like I did with my little girl. So, you know, these little girls can be friends. They can be friends. They can be, I would want them to be the same type of illustration, and that can be watercolor. It could be Disney style. It could be Pixar style. You can just look up illustration types. But as you can see, you can create all kinds of things. And she's in her living room, and then you put her here and she's in her kitchen. And then you can go to another part of the story, and now she's outside looking at the rainbow with the other little girl. And if you want to flip her, sometimes flipping them makes them look like they're in a different pose. Like my little girl here, if I flip her horizontally, now she's looking at the other side of the page. So there are different things that you can do to make your work look more professional, look, you know, just upgrading it a little bit. Even if your work is already good, you can just upgrade it a little bit. But look at how cute that looks. It literally looks like it's a whole full picture. So instead of using these little guys here, okay, this doesn't look very professional. You want to use these guys. You want to use this little girl who looks more professionally done. So that's the gist of this video. Give it a try. Report back what your findings are. Let me know if you used Shakker or Ideogram and which one you liked better. Remember that you can also use Ideogram for book covers. And this, let me show you this. This was basically, the prompt for this book cover was right here. A children's book cover with the title Lisa's Lost Puppy. The illustration shows a girl named Lisa with brown hair and blue eyes. She's holding a white puppy with black paws. Basically, this is the magic prompt that Ideogram recommends. The prompt that I provided was this. Create a book cover. Oh, sorry. Create a book cover for a children's book titled Lisa's Lost Puppy. That's all that I wrote in here. And then I click generate. And then depending on what I chose here, she would have come out, the book cover would have come out a little different. So get your prompt, put it in the prompt spot, click generate, and see what happens. If you like certain color schemes, pick the color schemes and they will be used. If you want it to be square, pick square. Like for my Canva creation, if I would have clicked square, the whole illustration would have come out perfectly sized for this, but I picked 3x4 or 4x3. So depending on what you pick, if you pick this, it would have given you landscape. My magic prompt is on. That's why it's giving me a magic prompt, which means this is what they recommend you do next time. So next time you want to do this, you could just copy it and paste it into here. And then you could change it. You could just remove whatever you want. You can go to ChatGPT and say, help me improve this prompt for a great illustration. And then paste that in there. And ChatGPT will say, okay, sure, here's an improved prompt. Why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And why don't you add something about her puppy? And then you say, okay, thank you, ChatGPT. You go back to Ideogram, you pop that in there, and you click generate. All right, this is the gist of what you can do if you have only Canva free and you are not looking to spend any money on what you're creating. Hope this helps. Come back with your findings. I'd love to hear how it went for you. Thanks.